Well, good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majewski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Studios with your weather update here on your June 28th, 2026. Well, nobody has to tell you it's hot outside. Boy, it's a steamer out there. Temperatures well into the 90s. We got feel-like temperatures in the triple digits. And the good news is this is short-lived, folks. We're going to back things off. We do have a frontal system that's going to come in and eventually bring in some drier air, probably later tomorrow. And then we also got to deal with a few sneaky thunderstorms that may come in here this evening that could potentially be severe. I'm not overly concerned about it, but we're going to break that down for you here in this report. Now, before we get into this full edition, if you're new here to our YouTube channel and you live anywhere across North Georgia, you know, we're on a mission to turn this into a professional 24-hour weather channel. That means a weather broadcast quality computer as well as a video camera weather network. And you can help. You can do your part. All you got to do is subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell to be alerted on all future weather updates just like this one. All right, let's get into today's edition, shall we? As we take a live look there into Dahlonega, it looks like a pretty nice looking day, a lot of sunshine. You notice the clouds are fairly flat, so that tells me it's pretty hot up in the atmosphere. You can't get any vertical motion of those clouds just yet. Probably not until tonight, until things begin to cool down a bit. And here in Braselton, got a little bit of a breeze, but probably feeling more like a, putting a hairdryer in your face. I'm currently seeing 93 degrees here out my back door with a feel-like temperature of 104, so it's pretty warm outside. Looking at the local radar, it is clear for the moment. You see one little shower way up there in the Tennessee, up near the Athens area, but that's about it for right now. What we're going to be watching for tonight is going to be this area of cluster of storms up here, this little disturbance right here. It's going to be kind of sliding down here to the south. Now, you see that that yellow area there. That is our severe thunderstorm watch. That watch goes until 3 o'clock here today. Let me get over to the right one. Here we go. There we go. It goes till 8 o'clock. Sorry, I didn't mean to say 3. 8 o'clock tonight. And these storms will be moving at a pretty good rate of speed. Now, these type systems don't typically last about 6 to 8 hours. So by the time it makes it into North Georgia, it could easily quickly start to fade on out as it's crossing our area. So that's why I'm not overly concerned about it. I'm going to show you the latest model date on this here in just a second. So as we look at the satellite imagery, seeing these storms just now getting blown up here on the satellite imagery, they don't look overly impressive, at least just yet, but there's our cluster of storms right there that we're going to be watching and tracking here for the rest of the day and going in for tonight. So as we look at our current temperatures, they are pretty hot. We're already getting into the 90s for a lot of folks, and those feel like temperatures in the triple digits. So again, just be careful outside with these kind of conditions. Obviously, there's the heat advisories that are currently up across North Georgia, which goes until 8 o'clock tonight. And then we've got that severe thunderstorm watch. So the question is, are we going to get a watch box here across North Georgia? I would put the odds at low at this point. It will depend on the evolution of those storms, how they track, and how they move into North Georgia, probably around 8 or 9 o'clock for tonight. But I would say the odds are probably against that, looking at what I'm seeing currently. So looking at the excessive rain forecast here for the next 5 days, again, we could get some downpours with some of those storms as they sneak into North Georgia. Thus, the little green there for those northern counties. And looks like the rest of the week stays dry, man. We're looking good for Wednesday. Thursday looking good. Friday, start seeing some activity back to our west. And then Saturday, that changes. We start seeing the yellow coming back in here for some pretty good downpours across northwest Georgia as the rain chances start to go up going into this weekend. I suspect we'll probably see this continue into Sunday and Monday of next week as well. So here's that severe weather alert. Again, it's the eastern counties here that are under the gun here for the best chance of seeing severe weather. We're talking some strong gusty winds. So everybody else here is at a level 1, and over here we're talking a level 2. So a little bit better chance heading over into the Carolinas here expected for today. So again, looking at the threat assessment here, the winds are the biggest threat here. So we're talking about this northeast corridor from Hiawassee down toward Livonia, heading down toward Elberton, and down toward Lincolnton. So all the way down right across those extreme eastern counties of our watch area. Everybody else is there under a lower risk there, about 5%. All right, now looking at the regional model here, this is what we're going to be kind of watching here. As you can see, the storms kind of blow through and they weaken quite a bit. So let me back this up again here for you. Again, you see the storm, see the lines of storms coming out of the Carolinas. Look, there's 6 o'clock. There's the 7 o'clock position. 8 o'clock, they start to cross into Georgia. And look what happens to them. They weaken and fall apart. So I'm not overly concerned about any kind of widespread severe weather. We're talking about maybe an isolated severe thunderstorm warning, most likely special weather statement. This moves on through, and then we're going to be done. And then we're not going to see anything here for the rest of the week. Look at that. Going into Thursday, absolutely nothing. Wednesday and Thursday looking dry and continuing straight into Friday. So this is the only rain game in town for tonight. Rest of the week is going to be dry, and you're going to notice those dew points. They're really going to come down nicely here in the days ahead. So looking at our weather map right now, again, we're going to see that front go all the way down. Very unusual to see that. You don't usually get a front that goes all the way down into South Georgia this time of year. They usually get hung up across North Georgia or even to our north this time of year. So very unusual to see this front make it that far south as we go through the next couple of days. So forecast tomorrow, still a warm one. The dry air is going to take its time getting in here. It may still feel a little muggy tomorrow, but not quite as hot. Looking at 90 and 74 there in the, looking at the air across Gainesville. Morning lows, everybody's going to be still pretty sticky out there. Look at Metro Atlanta, still at 79. Ugh. Just kind of still kind of muggy to start the day. The dry air will come in later in the afternoon. So as we go in for our afternoon highs here tomorrow, still looking at some 90s out there, even some mid 90s. But the dew points as we go later in the day will start to drop off. In fact, I want to go ahead and show you the dew point forecast taken from this mark here and going forward, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about as far as the dry air moving on in here. Now you see that by the afternoon? Look, see that? Bam. Drop it into the 50s and 60s. It won't start that way. It's still going to be muggy in the morning. So as we back it up in the morning, you're still seeing a lot of 70s in here. But look what happens as we go into the afternoon. It dries out. So it's not going to feel as hot. It's still warm, but it's definitely not going to feel as muggy as it is outside today. Your air temperature and your actual feel like temperature will be about the same here for tomorrow. So that's some good news there on that front. And this will eventually lead to some cooler mornings here as we go into Thursday and Friday morning. So regionally highs looking like this. You definitely see the nice cool down up here into the Carolinas. Some scatter storms here, keeping the temperatures down over toward Mississippi and Alabama, but still a typical summer looking day here across most of the southeast. But boy, South Georgia is still baking. Look at this, into the triple digits down here for Albany, Savannah, and down toward Valdosta. Another hot day there on Wednesday. 7-day forecast, here we go. Got us around 90. I got some 60s for lows, even getting down into Gainesville. So 66 there in Gainesville on Friday morning. I think Clayton and maybe going over to Hiawassee, maybe Blairsville may sneak down into the upper 50s, low 60s range, somewhere in there for a couple of mornings, and then the rain chances come back up. Right now, looks like Sunday's tracking as our best wet weather day here as we go into early next week. Now, with the threat of severe weather around, I got a free offer for you. It's free. Don't cost you a dime. You go over to the Apple Store or Google Play, depending on if you got an Apple phone or an Android, and put in North Georgia Majestic Weather and download this free weather app. This app is great. It's one of the best in the business. It's going to alert you when there's rain approaching your area, lightning nearby, severe weather alerts, hour-by-hour forecast, nice futurecast, and they just added an additional feature, power outage map. So you can kind of see if there's power outages in your area. And again, this is brought to us by our weather app sponsor, Roof It Forward, out of Woodstock, Georgia. If you've been putting it off to get a roof, if you got a roof that's getting a little old, a little long on the tooth, give these guys a call. They give great customer service, quality products, and they give a portion of every job back to local children's charity. Over 600,000 plus they've done so far. So truly pay it forward organization, and we thank them for being our weather app sponsor. All right, we'll be watching closely. We'll see what goes on with this. I don't think there'll be a need for us to do live severe coverage for it tonight, but we'll keep a watchful eye on it. If that changes, if a watch is issued, we will go live and we will cover the event here for tonight. But for right now, I do not believe that's going to be the case. But hey, I've been wrong before. We'll see what happens with this. Again, I appreciate you guys checking us out here on YouTube. Make sure you give us a subscribe, will you? And make sure you hit that notification bell so you're alerted on all updates, as well as being alerted whenever we do live events. And again, I want to appreciate everybody. We're getting closer and closer to 15,000. And hopefully we can turn this thing into something good for everybody here across North Georgia. All right, y'all, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. You guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Bye-bye.